Welcome back. We're now going to talk about reflections and how to be able to create a reflection that you may actually have. So we start here, usually you'll log in and you'll be at the profile. You're going to go in, again this is a candidate who would be doing this, not a coach, and you click on reflections. So John has not done any reflections yet. You may or may not have, but I'm going to go in and click on add a new reflection. So here are the assessments that we have to go through here. So the very first thing and the most important thing that you have to look at when you start is you have to decide on your submission. Now there are three different choices. It's either your initial, your interim, or your ending. You can only do one of these at a time. So your initial one is that you do at the beginning of the program. So if this is your very first one, you'll click on the initial. As you go through next year, at the end of this year, you'll do an interim, and at the end of the second year, you do the ending. So we're going to do this as an initial assessment. You actually read this standard and you rate yourself. No experience directed toward it approaches, meets, or exemplifies your own personal experience with this standard and this actual example. So I've shaped a collective vision that uses multiple measures of data and focuses on equitable access, opportunities, and outcomes for all students. Okay, well, I've done a little bit of that. And then you'll go down in the evidence area and you're going to type in specific evidence to say, what have I done to be able to shape a collective vision? What are some examples in my past? Now, this is not something you do quick. You got to think about it, process it, give a couple of examples. Here are some examples that are included with the standards when you actually look at the standards from California. You've addressed achievement and opportunity disparities between student groups with attention to those with special needs, cultural. You can see some of the ideas. You're going to type in your own experience. Now remember, if you're coming straight out of the classroom and this is your first administrative experience, you may have none. I have zero. That's okay at the beginning. But over the course of your time, you would be able to show that you're making growth by having some of those experiences. Don't stress about putting a zero, especially on your initial assessment, because you've never done some of this stuff. It's new to you. That's expected. We expect that you'll be able to grow as you go through. If you need more information to be able to put in your evidence, you can pull that down and allows it to give you a little more room to write. So you'll have various items. You're going to have 3 to 4 items per standard. Okay, so and you'll want to go through and you want to complete each one of these. Now here's the kind of the tricky part about this. It's fairly long and it does not save intermittently, so make sure that at the very end you save it. You can come in and as you're putting in, so let's say that I type in here, I'm going to save it. So here's my the one that I've done, and the only one that I've really done is my first one. I've hit a 0 on this. So if I want to edit this one, I can go back in and I would say 3, check, 4, just kind of see how this works. I hit save, and now I can see that for each one of my areas I can actually see where I've put my submission in, and then you can see and actually edit those if you want to. So when I click home and I have my reflections, now you can see for item 1 I'll have my actual initial rating and then the actual evidence that I have for it. Okay, and so you'll see that those will be listed, and if I need to edit those I can. Okay, there's my actual editing and able to do that. So that's putting in a reflection.